Hey guys, welcome back to Dark Souls 3. Here we are. We've explored a bit of Lothric Castle. I keep saying Lothric. I'm sorry about that, guys. There's a lot of voice actors in this game that sort of differ how they pronounce things. Like in the intro of this game, I think the old lady pronounces it Lothric, but most of the NPCs in this game call it Lothric, so I don't know, it's a little weird like that. But in this part, we will be hopefully finishing off Lothric Castle, and then also fighting the next boss of this area. But not before we have to fight these two guys that have been buffed by these magic guys. There is actually another magic guy up these stairs here. I'd like to kill him. Because he will absolutely heal those guys while we're fighting them. Right up here is where we actually have to go next. But I don't really want these two enemies to follow us there because they are kind of difficult. Oh, they get hyper armor, huh? Okay, I didn't mean to use my heavy attack there, but that's just what came out. Yeah, we should definitely have enough time to be fighting the boss of this area in this episode, and maybe making a little progress in the area after that. Depending on how long the exploration of this little side area takes, I guess. Okay. I was trying to brute force that enemy a little bit, just because it keeps hiding behind its shield. I was trying to sort of like break his guard so I could riposte him, but then he just started lunging his spear at me, so I took all my health and damage. But that's fine because that's what we've got 11 Estus flasks for. That's sort of what the point of that all is. Now, before you go out there, that's actually the boss room right there, but we're not going to be doing that yet, obviously. Since right in here you can get yourself another shortcut. And the shortcut that is in here will lead right back to pretty much the beginning of this area, like all the way back to where the Dancer's boss room is. So it's definitely... Oh, never mind. I think I'm thinking of a different elevator, but we will find that elevator as well, because it is pretty close by. Here's the red tear stone ring. Yeah, a lot like the dull cat ring in Demon Souls, or the red tear stone ring from the other Dark Souls games. That will boost your attack damage by 30%. Or no, that will boost your attack damage, I think, by 50% when your health is at 30% or lower. I don't know why I dropped down here. I think there's only like a chime right here. Yeah, Caitha's chime. And then those are the Lothric Knights I was telling you about earlier. We're definitely going to aggro them coming down here. We're going to aggro most of these enemies, but I think we'll just run past them. Because I do not have the patience to fight all these enemies again. Especially since we've already done it once. Now, Caitha's chime is pretty good. I think... let me check, actually. Yeah, it's more of a faith... most chimes are faith scaling. What am I talking about? Yeah, it's a pretty decent faith scaling chime that also has a lot of intelligence scaling on it, too. I wonder why it has that much intelligence scaling. Oh, okay, so... I guess its gimmick is that it's affected by intelligence, but you don't really need that because most of its scaling comes from faith. So I don't know why you would level up the intelligence on it if you could just get like 50 faith and call it a day. But anyway, this elevator that we're taking down will be the shortcut that I mentioned. So it's very useful for that. I don't really know why we actually took it, because I don't actually need to take this shortcut right now. I wanted to send the elevator down and then get off of it, but I guess I just missed my timing. Because that's a thing you can do in this game. Activate the elevator and then quickly jump out of it. So that way if you die and you respawn at a bonfire, you don't have to wait for it to come down. A lot of the elevators in this game are very slow. I wish they were faster, to be honest. I don't really know why they couldn't have made the elevators faster. It's not like it would have been that hard to program. But anyway, there is an area down there, but we're not going to go to that quite yet. We're actually going to explore this first. Because after we explore this, it'll lead us right back out here. So I'd like to do this first, so we don't have to go all the way back up again. There are a few upgrade materials up here, as well as some useful stuff inside this little building here. But this will obviously be a trap, as you can see. Oh my freaking god. Yeah, these guys obviously have, like, These guys obviously have, like, exploding crossbow bolts, so, like... Yeah, don't let those hit you like they hit me. That'll obviously do way more damage. And yeah, coming down here, you can get yourself another ring. It's not a very useful ring in my opinion, but if you want it for your character, could be useful, I guess. The Knight's Ring, I believe, will increase your strength by 5 levels. Yes. This will all of the rings, like the Knight's Ring, the Saint's Ring, all of that, all of those ring types will increase the respective stat by 5. So it's not really that useful unless you're, like, doing a soul level 1 run or a different challenge run or something. This is a great sword Lothric Knight, and he will buff his weapon, and if that buff great sword hits you, it will absolutely melt your fucking health bar, so if you're playing Pyromancer like me, I suggest you take care of him from a distance, or you'll be in trouble. 3 Titanite scales, wow. We can't actually use the Titanite scales anymore because we need a Titanite slab to finish off our Moonlight Greatsword here. But here is the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant. This is another one of them PvP covenants that is more miracle-oriented. So if you want some better offensive miracle spells, then getting the covenant rewards from that can be very useful for you. And now we will be coming down here. There is another one of these Abyss guys down here, so you will have to fight that and kill that. Be very careful about it, though, because it can spit, like, a goop at you that will deal a lot of curse damage. So I'm actually going to be using my Curse Bite Ring, so I can resist most of it. And, yeah, here we go. You can actually come in this little room here to avoid it. And, yeah. Just like that, you can kill yourself another little undead dragon, and he will drop you some more upgrade materials, so that's pretty good. This is another mimic that I'm going to use another gold coin for, because I really want that symbol of avarice, man. So let's try to get it again. At least it's not an upside down mimic. Uh-oh. Okay, we're fine. Alright, he will drop you the Sunlight Straight Sword. If you play Dark Souls 1, you'll know what this sword is. This was basically Solaire of Astora's straight sword weapon. It is a really good straight sword weapon because it will scale mostly with faith. So if you are doing a spell sword build, but you're more oriented with miracles, then the Sunlight Straight Sword is the perfect weapon for you. It's very light and versatile, and overall pretty solid. It can take you pretty much to the end of the game if you upgrade it enough. And there we also found the Braille Divine Tome of Lothric. That's another thing you can give to the Miracle Lady and Firelink. Another thing I should mention, though, is that even if you don't give the Miracle Lady any dark magic miracle tomes, simply giving her every miracle tome in the game will end her quest line, and she will no longer spawn in Firelink. So before you give her the last before you give her the last tome that you find, make sure you buy out her entire inventory, because the next time you reload Firelink, she will not be there. But I digress, because speaking of Firelink, we're gonna go there right now, because I have 100,000 souls on me. More than that now. And then we will be able to fight the next boss right now. It can be a pretty easy boss. I think we will actually be using a different ring for this, though. Oh no, we don't actually have the right ring, though. This boss mostly uses lightning attacks against you, so I was hoping I had a thunder stone plate ring, but we do not. We only have the speckled stone plate, so I can only get a small bonus of lightning defense. So I guess we'll just chalk that whole thing out the window. I think what we'll actually do instead is just use these yellow bug pellets that we found, because that will also give you lightning damage absorption.
Works very well.
Why do I keep doing gestures? I'm not touching my touchpad or anything, which I think is what does gestures in this game. But anyway, with 30 attunement, we now can have 5 attunement slots and a solid 233 mana. So I think that we're good on attunement for now. I think overall this is pretty good. So now all we have left to do is continue upgrading our intelligence and our faith. And with it, the damage on our weapon will go higher because we have a B scaling in intelligence with it. So that's pretty good. But now, we're going to go take this tome to the lady real quick. Because I would actually like to see what spells she can sell you after you give her this tome.
Oh, no, take what?
Alright. Now, I forgot to mention last time, another one of the spells she sells is Force. That's basically like Wrath of the Gods, but it won't do any damage. And it will also cost a lot less mana, so it's sort of more like efficient for PvP. But with that with that tome that we just gave her, she'll sell us Bountiful Light, which will basically be like Great Heal, but an overtime effect instead of instant. She'll also sell... Oop, 1 second. She'll also sell Bless Weapon, which will bless your weapon with, like, light miracle damage that scales with faith, I guess. And then also Magic Barrier. And Magic Barrier is pretty good, too, because for, like, for a certain period of time, or for a short period of time, it will give you a pretty big boost in magic defense. You can extend that time even further if you wear the Lingering Dragon Crest ring, which we found. But enough about all that. With our +9 Estus, we will now go fight our next boss. But now that we got that shortcut, we can actually just respawn here at the Dancer's Room. Since that will be a much shorter walk. And we don't have to fight any enemies. So we can go straight into the boss fight with all of our healing items. That'd be nice. This boss in particular is not too difficult. It's also not it's also not really a boss that I am quite fond of in this game. I don't think his boss design is that interesting. It's sort of like I guess, in my opinion, I feel like it's like From Software just sort of ran out of ideas at the writing table, and they were thinking of like, what's another cool enemy we can design for this area, and then they just sort of made it. So I'm not really particularly fond of its boss design, but I do think the fight itself is pretty neat. And I don't think he's too difficult of a boss either, so let's get to it. And there's also a lot of player messages here, so yes. It's time for us to fight him. I don't think I'll mute my mic for this either because, yeah, I just don't think it's that special of a boss. But anyway, here we go. The Dragonslayer armor. Yeah, this guy will basically try to shield bash you every now and then. Our black pyromancy is not doing a lot of damage. What about this? Oh, he blocked that. I'd like to get a good hit on him, if I can. That was a good hit. Still didn't do a whole lot of damage, though. Alright. We used our yellow bug pellets to get some lightning resistance. Right there, you can do an AoE attack, so back off when you see him do that. When you stagger him, don't assume that you can go in for extra hits because he will do another attack after you stagger him. That sweeping attack that you just saw him do can be kind of annoying because he can literally throw you off the edge of the bridge if he does that. Ow. Resetting our yellow bug pellets here. Oh my god. These things, these butterfly-looking dragons in the sky will also shoot, like, magic balls at you during the fight. That can be kind of annoying because they can stagger you with that, so try to keep an eye on that during the fight if you can. Another sweep attack there. Oh my god. Will you just let me hit you one more time? Thank you. Yeah, these dragon-looking butterfly creatures are basically like the puppeteers of the Dragonslayer armor. There isn't actually a person inside that giant, like, metal suit he was wearing. It was sort of just being puppeteered by these floating dragon things. Which is why I say I'm not too fond of this boss's design, because, like, honestly, what the fuck is that even supposed to be? It looks like a scrapped asset from Bloodborne. But I wouldn't even put something like that in Bloodborne. That would just make it look weird. I don't know. Obviously, people will disagree with me, but not too fond of that boss fight. It is one of my lesser favorite boss fights in this game. It's kind of a weird way of saying that. But I digress. We defeated him. We got his soul. His soul can be used to make a few good things at the very least. And now we can come through here and pick up this key and the Gothard twin swords. Ordinarily, you could actually come through this area and beat Dragonslayer armor. But ordinarily, you would not be able to get past this point until you fought the third Lord of Cinder. So you would be locked out of fighting the fourth Lord of Cinder until after you beat your third one. So this Lord of Cinder was pretty much meant to be fought last. I know there are mods for this game that make it so that you can fight that Lord of Cinder before all the other ones, sort of like fight them in any order you want. So, you know, mods are pretty cool like that. Unfortunately, you can never get mods like that on the console versions of the game because Sony and Microsoft are uptight about all that shit. But anyway, here you can get his Great Shield. It's another pretty good Great Shield with very solid lightning damage reduction. And pretty solid stability, too. This might actually be better than Yorm's Great Shield. It might be a little heavier, though. I think it might be like 6 units heavier than Yorm's Great Shield, so it is a little heavier, and it offers roughly the same bonuses. Only 38 strength to equip it, too. So that's another pretty decent Great Shield if you're going for like a heavy character. And then you can get the Dragonslayer Great Axe, which is a really good strength and faith scaling lightning Great Axe weapon. You do need 40 strength to wield this, though, so that can take a while to get. Unless you're leveling up strength throughout the entire game. But speaking of leveling up, we're going to keep working on that every now and then. I do think we picked up more Titanite chunks, so I think I'll try to get another Pyromancy upgrade. Alright. Now our Pyromancy Flame's at +9, so we need a Titanite slab to upgrade that to its maximum. And another Titanite slab to upgrade our Moonlight Greatsword to its maximum. We haven't actually been upgrading our shield, which I should probably be doing, simply because, I mean, the more you upgrade your shield, the more stability you can add to it, so it might be a good idea to start doing that. Especially since I have plenty of Titanite shards to spare. So yeah, I think I'll probably do that. And we'll probably work on this Dragon Crest shield. Amongst all the other Crest shields, this one gives the most dark defense. This one gives the most fire defense. This one gives the most lightning defense, and then there's another one that gives the most magic defense. So, but we'll be working on the one with more fire defense because that one, well, let me just say this. We got it to +4, so that's nice. It started at 49 stability, now it has 54, so it'll be able to block a lot more attacks. Yeah, the next area we're going to be going to after we beat this Lord of Cinder is going to be an area primarily that does like fire damage against us, so I'm going to want to upgrade that Dragon Crest shield for that specific purpose. Also, here we go, into the next area, towards the final Lord of Cinder, the Grand Archives. And if you played Dark Souls 1, this is another one of those areas that'll probably remind you of the Duke's Archives. Because it is absolutely chock full of magic-throwing enemies. And for that reason, I think we're actually going to use the blue bug pellets to resist him. So yeah. But as you come in here, this guy will spawn. You're going to want to kill him. Because if you kill him, he'll drop another scroll for you. He's basically like another Crystal Sage enemy. But yeah, once you kill him, he'll drop another scroll for you to give to the Sorcerer back in Firelink. He will also teleport around the room, like now he's up there, and we have to sort of follow him around. Eventually he will stop teleporting around. But for the time being, you will have to sort of chase him around and do as much damage to him as you can until he disappears again. I do believe there is a Titanite slab in these Grand Archives somewhere, so we will be able to upgrade our sword to the maximum before we fight the next Lord of Cinder. That would definitely be helpful, since there aren't a whole lot of ways to get Titanite slabs in this game. In the first two Dark Souls games, Titanite slabs were insanely easy to farm, because you could pretty much find them like everywhere. But in this game, not so much, unfortunately. This is a new enemy type. They will pretty much cast a flurry of magic at you. They'll also spit wax at you. If that wax hits you... Hold on a second. Oh. That wax hit me. But, yeah. If you get affected by their wax debuff, what will happen is you will gain a very high amount of resistance to curse buildup. But the drawback is that you will lose almost all of your magic resistance. So, the enemies in this area that primarily use magic attacks will be doing a lot more damage to you for the duration of the debuff. But hey, at least you'll have a good amount of curse defense, so there's that. Dang, dude. This is another Lothric Knight that can buff his weapon. He'll use Crystal Magic Weapon on it. Crystal Magic Weapon is one of the best, if not the best, magic infusion or magic weapon buff you can put on your weapon with a staff in this game. As far as like sorcery weapon buffs go, that's like one of the best, if not the best. But we also got that crystal chime in there. I believe that's actually one of the best chimes in this game. Maybe not. Oh, this is a chime that scales with both intelligence and faith, because it is a chime that is capable of casting both sorceries and miracles, so that's interesting. But once again, I have to reiterate, it would be easier for you and the damage you do. It would be easier for you to simply just have a staff and a chime at the same time, instead of just using one or the other. Or instead of just using both in one, because the damage probably wouldn't be as great. But right here you'll find these like weird hands coming out of these bookshelves. Those things will inflict curse buildup on you, as you can see. And that wax debuff I was telling you guys about will give you a lot of resistance to that curse buildup. It might actually make you immune to it entirely. However, once again, you have to watch out for the fact that you will lose a lot of your magic defense in the process. I'm looking for a lever in here. There's a lever you can pull that will open a secret bookshelf. Oh, I think it's here, yeah. Okay. If you pull that lever, this bookshelf will come down. And in here you can find another whip weapon. You can also find power within. Whip weapon, which is Locke's, that I believe is an intelligence scaling whip weapon, so it's... I mean, I don't really like the whip weapons in this game. I think they have weird movesets, so you can use it if you want, but I don't really think it's that good. Oh shit. No! He disappeared. Alright, whatever. But we did find Power Within, which is a pyromancy that will make you take damage over time very slowly, but it will boost... It will make you take damage over time very slowly, but it will also significantly boost the damage you deal for a short time. So... It's another one of them magic weapons, or... Sorry, it's another one of them player buffs you can apply to yourself. That's pretty useful, if you don't mind taking a little damage. But anyway, I think we'll end off the episode here and probably resume it right where we leave off here. Because right through there is going to be the whole next section of these Grand Archives. So yeah, we'll leave it off here, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. We'll try to get through the rest of these Grand Archives in the next episode, although this area is pretty big, so it might take more than a couple here. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.